There's nothing quite like owning something rare, something valuable. But keeping it safe can be stressful. Now, eBay is launching a new way to protect what you collect. From the original collectibles marketplace comes the eBay Vault, a state-of-the-art facility and digital marketplace. With millions of dollars of cards already secured, the Vault empowers how you'll collect in the future. The eBay Vault. Buy, sell, secure. Go to ebay.com/vault to learn more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's everyone feeling? Welcome to Story Smash, the storytelling game show. And now, please welcome the creator and host of the show, Story Smash, Christine Blackburn.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We're going to have a fabulous evening. And let me now introduce to you the Wheel of Stories. There are 12 permanent topics on the wheel, including a new topic, pandemic. And when the contestant comes up, they'll spin the wheel, whatever they land on. In the first round, they'll tell a true 1-minute story. There's also a space that says free. If the contestant lands on free, then they can choose any topic on the wheel. There's also 3 topics that say audience. And if the contestant lands on audience, I know it's very exciting. That's when you guys come into play and you can shout out your very favorite storytelling topics, and one of our expert judges will choose it to be the contestant's topic. All right, you guys, are you ready to play this game? All right, let's bring on your very first expert judge. All right, you guys, this guy is a novelist and a screenwriter. He's an artist and a producer. He's best known for his work on Seinfeld as both a writer and co-executive producer. He coined the phrase yada yada and double dipping and sponge-worthy. And Peter was also the creator and host of The Narrow World of Sports, which was my very favorite show. I love that show. He is a freelance writer for the New York Times, GQ, and Esquire. And if that isn't enough, he recently recently wrote his second novel. I hold it here in my left hand. It's called #MeAsWell. Please welcome the very talented Peter Melman! Guys, this next judge, she was Barbara Jean on the Reba TV show, Bonnie Wheeler on Baby Daddy, and you can catch her on Young Sheldon or playing 25 Words or Less. She was voted People Magazine's sexiest subscriber over 40, and she has a new podcast. She shares with her friend Reba McEntire. It is called Living and Learning. Please welcome the fabulous Melissa Peterman! You guys, this third and final judge coming to the stage, he's a writer who wrote on the Emmy Award-winning Modern Family for its entire 11-year run, and he's in production now with comedian and actor Kevin Nealon on his new show, Hiking with Kevin, and he's also the author of this book I hold in my left hand. It is called He Started It, My Twitter War with Donald Trump. All right, you guys, he's here right now. He's got 5 Emmy Awards, and he'll never let us forget it. Danny Zuker! I know, this is an exciting night. Welcome back, Peter. You haven't been here since before the pandemic.
That is correct. Well, I've been here, but not with you.
Not with me. Well, now you are. Melissa and Danny, you were both here last month. Welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, super spreaders.
Woo! Woo! You guys, tonight we've got farm produce in action. These are zucchinis that I personally grew in my own garden. And you each get to take one home and think of me. Think of me when you do something, whatever you do with that zucchini. And guess what? Whoever wins tonight, they get one too. How about that? There's another one.
These are amazing.
I
It's an
know.
emoji come to life. I'm going to send this to somebody.
Is your Emmy inside there? You're going to crack it open
I think
and show us.
this
what?
is false advertising if I send this, frankly.
All right, you guys, we're going to play 3 rounds of the game tonight, like I said. And you guys, you are judging, as you know, on the story itself, the ability to stay on the topic, and, of course, the time. Because the contestants don't want to go over their time. You're responsible for your own clock. Because, Willie, tell them what happens if they hit 1 minute in the first round.
Tase them.
We got a fun little sound effect right here. Yeah, after the tasing, we got this great little sound effect.
How come
Boom.
Why do Stone Temple Pilots come on with every sound effect?
It's in my rider.
In the second round, we're going to do a true 2-minute story. And again, don't go over your time, because if you do, you might hear STP. What were you going to hear? What are you going to hear, Willie?
I hope it's not
He's back there really breaking glasses.
It's really amazing.
It's extraordinary.
I'm telling you. And then in the third round, you guys are going to pick 2 of the contestants to go on to that third round for a true 3-minute story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so much to think about, Christine.
Melissa, what do you think would be the hardest to tell? A 1, 2, or 3-minute story?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we're slowly becoming, we can't talk for very long, pay attention very long. Yeah. I think it's going to be hard to tell a 3-minute story because we want it short, we want it fast, 240 characters. So, yeah, I think it's going to be harder to go longer. That's what I've learned in my life.
Peter?
It's definitely going to be harder to listen longer.
Danny, I'm glad you're back. Thanks for coming back.
My God, it's so my pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to start.
Why don't we?
Why don't we? We've got 4 people, actually 3 contestants' names right here in the Story Smash Can of Truth. And there's another piece of paper in here that says audience.
Oh, holy shit.
Danny, tell them what it means.
It means somebody put their name in that can. They're going to come up and they're going to tell a story off of this wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody
great.
out here is playing,
great.
and we look forward to hearing their stories as well.
And they're almost always terrible.
Yeah. Well.
No, remember?
No, I mean, no, they're amazing.
They're amazing.
That last time was amazing.
Oh, that's true. That
Yes.
person was great.
He crushed it.
All right, I've got a name in my hand right now. So let's start the music. Willie! The first contestant coming to the stage, you guys, he's originally from Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
And he pretends to be a comedian, but really he's an actor. And he does theater and film and television. And he was recently nominated for Best Actor for his role as the president in the film Concession. Yeah, and then that movie also won the best film at the Las Vegas International Film Festival. And he's here right now. Put your hands together for Charlie Daniel! Woo! All right, you guys, let's tell him what to do.
Yes. Spin that
Wheel.
Charlie's a little bit in the dark over here. Willie, any more light on this side? Oh, Charlie Daniel landed on free. He landed on free. So
Oh,
he
my
can
God.
choose any of the topics on the wheel.
Oh, okay.
All right. I've never gotten free before, as many times as I've done this show. I'm going to pick... Not mom. I'm going to pick...
Just because I want that. Your mother!
No. I'm going to pick Hollyweird. Okay, Hollyweird. Time started. My weirdest night in Hollywood ever was a date that I had. We were driving along, forget the street, but we were right next to a graveyard. And we got in the weirdest fight on the weirdest night on the weirdest thing that's happened to me in Hollywood. We're driving next to a graveyard, and out of nowhere, we see over the dark street, and you could see the lights. Over the fence comes a shovel, and just out of nowhere, the shovel. And we looked at each other and like, where the hell's this shovel coming from? And we got in a fight, and I slam on the brakes. We got in a fight over where this shovel could have come from because I was so sure that the shovel was from a grave digger. Who was like just working and was so pissed off about working on Saturday night, he just threw his shovel over the thing. And she was dead set that it was grave robbers that were caught in the middle of robbing the grave and just like, get rid of the shovel, And so we fought, and she got out of the car, and I was so pissed, and she started hitting my car with a shovel.
Okay, now look at that. He landed exactly on a minute, but I didn't hear the last word. What did you say?
I said she was hitting my car with a shovel.
Ooh, I hate when that happens.
Weird.
Melissa Peterman.
First of all, I don't remember it like that at all, Charlie. I remember that you and we went to Red Robin. We had burgers and fries. I wanted to go to the cemetery to pay homage to my great aunt, Cheryl, and you didn't want to do it. I got upset, took a shovel, beat the shit out of your car, and you continued to call me for weeks after. Again, I don't
know how to quit you.
That's how you can't quit me. I just remember it differently. What was the conclusion? I think it was grave robbers. Don't you think? Like, somebody working isn't going to get, I mean, he's not going to throw it over the fence.
I still think it was a digger, grave digger. He was
Grave
pissed.
digger.
It was Saturday night. Why was that grave digger working on a Saturday? He was pissed. They made him dig the grave.
Because their union is so strong
Yes.
that they don't work on Saturday nights. You know what? I love the story. You kept the time perfectly, really.
Yeah, really.
You took us on a journey. We had a brush with death, but not death. So I'm going to give you 14 out of 15 on that one, Charlie.
With no points.
There are no points in this game, but
I'm going to stick with that and give him 14.
Danny Zuker.
I mean, he was working the graveyard shift. No, that's amazing. You know, being in relationships, I'm recently, I'm going through a divorce right now, but it's those little things that you fight about and they get out of control. My wife Dax would say, she wished I were a better listener, and I wished she were Asian. And I think those are the things that become really hard and irreconcilable ultimately. And but yours was better. I hope you and were you able to heal your relationship after all?
I never saw her again
It's a happy story all around
until tonight.
I'm going to give 320 points.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Peter Melman.
You know, I really like a story with a good beginning, middle, and another middle.
I think you're right.
No, fascinating story, and I actually went on a date. I don't know, to the that where they have the movies in the cemetery.
Yeah, cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah. I went with this woman. She was really beautiful, and I only mentioned that because looks are everything.
So important.
But yeah, I mean, for a 1-minute story, it was very, you got started right away with this graveyard, and that got it off to a fast start. So I'm going to give you 35,000 points.
Okay, 35,000 points. All right, Charlie Daniel. Let him hear it, you guys. Charlie Daniel.
Charlie.
Wow. That was
Very
great.
good.
Yeah, I really like that.
Did you hear that graveyard shift joke earlier?
That was funny, Dan.
I loved it.
I was just really in the moment.
Yeah.
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 It's just the way my brain works.
Yeah. You're just faster than the rest of us.
Yep.
That was like wordplay, wasn't it?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
All right, you guys.
I have a Golden Globe. It doesn't even matter. And I don't even know why I don't even know why I bring it up. Anyway, go on.
Holy cow, I just pulled the audience member's name. Audience. All right, so Jim Coughlin, he helps me out every single month. He's going to be coming up to give Danny Zuker the can. And Danny Zuker is going to name the person coming up to tell a true 1-minute story.
That person is Cindy. What do you think that is?
Stott.
Stop. Come on up, Cindy. Stop. Come on up. You have the chance to win this zucchini. You got your zucchini bread. You got your zucchini muffins. You got your zucchini salad. All right, you guys. There she is, Cindy Staub. Thank you for playing. We're happy you're here. Let's tell her what to do, guys.
Spin that wheel. Spin it.
You have to spin it, Cindy. Yes, you do.
Okay. Spin that wheel. Okay, we're not off to a great start. I have... no, it's fine.
She landed on audience. No, she's landed on audience, and you know what that means. Step right over there by the microphone, Cindy. No, that's the microphone. This is the clock. All right, this is the chance for you guys to yell out your favorite storytelling topics, and then Cindy's going to tell us a story about it. What do you want to hear? Family? Family. Surgery.
Ooh, that's good.
Pets. No, we got...
Brands of mayonnaise.
Charminia. I can do Charminia.
Charminia.
What does it mean?
You don't know what Charminia is?
No, I don't.
Everybody knows what Charminia
Oh, my God.
is.
Every week it's another Charminia story.
story.
So you go to the gynecologist.
Okay, now wait a second.
I'm ready. No, give it to me.
Is that what you want to hear about?
I want to hear about Charminia.
Yeah, I do too, because I don't even know what's happening. I'm going to go over here now.
Hit it. We're about to find out. We got a minute to find out what about Charminia.
All right. Who wants to know what Charminia is?
We do.
Okay.
And begin.
Really?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Charminia, you go to the gynecologist's office. You're there to get your pap. What's the first thing he wants? He wants you to get a urinologist. Go pee in the cup, right? So you go pee in the cup and you wipe. And you're like, oh, my God. Okay, I'm done. I'm hurrying. I got to get back in there. And you're on the table. The doctor, there is him and his assistant. And they're like, oh, something white there. Oh, Amy, we have a definite case of Charminosis. It is Charminosis. And it's the residue. Okay, that's it. That's all I got, guys.
Bravo.
All right. 52 seconds. 52 seconds.
I mean...
I still don't know what it means.
No.
Danny Zuker.
I mean... I
stay here,
my
Cindy.
guess is that you had failed to get all of the toilet paper out of your nether regions.
I did not get it all out.
I can,
And they called it Charminosis.
Oh, it went from Charminia to Charminosis. I love it. Look, I'm going to just riff off of Peter here. A lot of people are very constrained with the beginning, middle, and end of a story, or that a story should have a point, a joke should have a punchline, a setup should have anything. And I just think it was so freeing that your story had none of that.
None of it.
And it took courage in a way that I haven't. No, and that's what
Had no knowledge that
That's what it was. Very. It was very room. It was very the disaster artist. It had that vibe. I loved everything about it. I can't wait to see your 2-minute story. 9 million points.
Thank you.
Melissa Peterman.
Cindy, do you have any other doctor office stories? Because I feel like this is a series.
I do. This is OB-GYN.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on to the urologist, the gynecologist, the OB-GYN, whatever.
The OB-GYN?
Yeah. I have so many stories.
The OB-GYN and the urinologist. Yeah. I loved all about it.
Yeah, me too.
I loved hearing all about it. And I want to know what office
Whatever
you go
you
to.
want.
I want to hear it all. It's a good thing you didn't have sandpaperitis. That would have hurt.
Yes.
And
you're right.
Yeah, that would have really hurt.
Yeah, Charminosis is easy. I mean, they can...
And where in office do you go to that they have Charmin? My guy has that awful Scott tissue. So
I know, and I love Scott tissue. You know, it lasts forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I feel like you've got so many opinions on all sorts of things like that, and I want to hear it all, and I can't wait. Anyway, Cindy, you weren't a pro, you weren't ready for it, and you came in, and again, like Danny said, it was all over the place, and I was along for the journey. It was sort of like a roller coaster ride, and I forgot to put my lap bar down. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes. So well done. I'm giving you 18 rolls of Charmin.
Yes. Woo!
Peter Melman.
Come on, Peter. Give it to me.
I wouldn't. I wasn't really listening because
It's up to you, Peter.
because I'd like there to be like just one area of the planet that I don't have to know about.
I know.
Like I don't really know what's going on in a gynecologist's office, and can I just be ignorant about one thing? Do I have to know fucking everything?
No, not the vagina. Right?
Anyway,
Right.
Okay.
yeah,
Not the vagina.
you know, for an ad lib and a terrible subject, you did pretty good.
Thank you.
All right, let her hear it. Cindy Strad, nice for playing. Stout.
Stout.
Can you spell it?
Stout.
Oh, Stout.
Stout. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
All right,
Stout.
Cindy Stout, let her hear it.
Good job.
Okay, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
That's right. Get off the stage.
Get out of here, man. You gotta go. All right, you guys, coming up right now to tell a true 1-minute story. Okay, this is great. All right, you guys, this comedian, she's an artist and a comedian, and she plays clubs all over town. I do a lot of open mics with her. We have a blast. Her name is Abby Schachner. Abby! Woo! All right, you guys, let's tell Abby what to do. Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Abby.
That's a good spin.
Oh, that was a strong spin from the core.
Thank you. I'm afraid I can't look at it. It's dizzy. What's happening? Yeah!
Holly Weird.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. Oh, do I get to just start whenever I want?
Yeah.
Oh, well, 5 or 6 years ago, they found a head in Griffith Park. And Maya Rudolph's dog apparently found it, and I said to myself, I'm going to know that head. It was between 40 and 70 years old. They said it on the news, and I went for a walk in my neighborhood, and the first guy that I saw that I thought whose head it was, he was still alive. He was like an Armenian Humphrey Bogart, and he would hit on me, and he was always depressed and sad, so I'm like, he's living, it's not him. A couple days pass, I let it go. I'm watching Shark Tank like 2 days later, and the head pops up. I knew the head! His name was Hervé. He lived on the other side of the Sikh temple. I lived on one side. He lived on the other in Los Feliz. And I called my friend that I knew that knew Hervé, who wasn't surprised that Hervé was killed and had his head chopped off by an axe by his lover. And I went to yoga class that night and told everybody that the head that they found, he was not a perfect man, even though years later on Dateline they said he was.
Wow. Abby Schachner. It's a perfect 1 minute and 1 second. Great story. Peter Melman.
Unbelievably great story. Not quite making the connection with Halloween, but...
No, Holly Weird.
Oh, Holly Weird.
Like weird things that happen in Hollywood, right on target.
My mistake. Fantastic story. God, I didn't think those things actually happened except on, like, Law and Order. They find heads, like if two people are having a catch, Like, the ball is overthrown, boom, there's a head.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that these things really happen, and you've totally enlightened me. I don't know. I can't say enough. And although I can say enough, I've said more than enough.
Melissa Peterman.
Well, first off, the opening line is that's how you get people, right, Danny? I mean, I don't have any Emmys, but you got to start off strong.
Yeah,
right?
You stop reading after the first page, and that was like boom.
It was boom. You had us in right at the beginning. Quick question. Was somebody on Shark Tank taught... how did the head pop up on Shark Tank? Was it like, are you tired of not being able to find your head? I mean, what... was it a product placement? What? No. The news.
It was during Shark
Abby,
Tank.
go for the...
Oh, the news. They put his face up in a little square during Shark Tank. They had discovered whose head it was.
Oh, wow.
He had a lot of facial work done. That's why they thought he looked between 40 and 70.
And what was it? What was it? Did you always know that you were going to be the person? Someday someone's going to be decapitated, and I'm going to know them. Have you always known that about yourself?
No, it was just a universal connection.
Well, I love this story. Again, I agree with Peter. It was well done, and you took us on a journey. I can't wait to see the movie version. I've already titled it, called Headless Hervé. And you're phenomenal. I loved it, every minute of it. 17,000 heads.
Yeah.
Danny Zuker.
It's amazing. I think another working title, and we can argue about this later. And the project, but I was thinking how to get ahead in Hollywood.
Oh, you know what?
So,
just because you didn't get enough love from your whole graveyard shift, I'm going to give it to you there.
Thank
I'm
you.
Give it to you there. All right, yes.
Thank you. That was a master class in storytelling. I have nothing snarky to say to you. It was just like that's a story to beat right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You killed it.
You killed it. Abby Schachner, let her hear it, you guys. All right, you guys, there's one more name in the Story Smash Can of Truth for the first round. And this person coming up to the stage, let's see. Well, I know who she is. I don't even have to look at this. She's a comedian. She's a regular at Flappers Comedy Club. Oh, wow. She does a lot of comedy. She's out and about all the time. Please put your hands together for the very talented Erin Mohr. Erin!
Let's do it, Erin.
Erin!
All right, you guys, let's tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel. I think that's an impressive spin.
Well done. Well done.
So far, my favorite spin.
Oh, pandemic. Interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. This was May 17th, May 16th. Lockdown was the 17th. Coming out of Flappers after an open mic. Had a few drinks with some comedians, hanging out, chatting away. And up pulls this pickup. And this guy's staring at me, and I look at him, and he nods, and he says, "You got real nice legs." And I'm a trans woman, by the way. I'm kind of new to a lot of things, catcall included, but I knew enough. Thank you. I knew enough to just glare, even though I was kind of excited inside. But this was the day before the pandemic, right? And so I just glared. Had I known what was coming the next day, I would have used my legs to run around.
Erin Mohr.
Hold on, I need to know the punchline. I don't care.
Yeah, we need to hear
I want to
this.
use my legs to run around.
Run him down and wrap around him twice.
That's fantastic.
Erin Mohr, let her hear it.
Yes, well done.
Danny Zuker.
I so relate to this story. I just want to just say this. I moved out here with three guys, two I went to Syracuse with, and one I knew in New York. And like all three of them, and this is like 1988, all three of them came out of the closet, unaware to me, and were enjoying each other's company. And at no point was I ever asked to join in. It was all done behind my back. And to this day, I have beef with all three of them. Like, because I would have respectfully declined, but it would have been nice to know that I was attractive. So I take that as a win for you. So congratulations.
Peter Melman.
It's funny because the only thing I accomplished during the entire pandemic was I started writing a screenplay about it was going to be a non-binary rom-com called They's All That. And that's the only thing I got done. So, but, you know, I do love hearing stories about, like, the people's, like, the days that when the pandemic started. Mm-hmm. I'm actually fascinated by your story and, like, what you would have done. Because you probably really did think about, like, even though you made a joke of it, you probably, like, had some thoughts like, oh, my God, now I got a year of being home.
And you do have great legs.
Yeah. Thank you. So, yes, excellent job.
All right, Melissa Peterman.
I was just going to say that, too. You've got great legs. Nice wheels, and they are very, very gorgeous. I like this story because I think it's relatable to all of us who went through this. It also just sort of reminds me, I've been married for like 22 years, and the pandemic's is sort of like being married for 22 years. You're like, think of all the sex I could have had before that happened. So I agree. I mean, I think if we all had a time machine and could go back to those days before, we all would have done a lot of things that, you know, we would have had very bad judgment in a good way. Like, just go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, this is what I hope for you, Erin, is that this just gives you the go-ahead to wrap your legs around twice over anyone you feel like. You know, like, do it. Get at it. Right now, we've got to make up for lost time. There's a lot of guys in pickup trucks that are waiting for it, Erin. So and I can't do them all. So anyway, I loved your story, and like you, Peter, I'm fascinated by that because I think we all thought in those beginning, like, it's going to be like 2 weeks. I'm going to get to hang out with my kids and whatever. It's going to be great. But well done. I love the story. Can't wait to hear more.
Erin Mohr, let her hear it. Erin Mohr. Thank you. All right, now this is very exciting because all 4 names go back into the Story Smash Can of Truth, and they'll be scrambled as such. And you guys, how are you feeling about the first round? Do you have another drink order in you? Do you want to order anything?
I think
from
Dan
Brian?
needs another drink.
Oh, you know what? I'll do another tequila.
All right. Okay. Willie, how you doing in the back? He doesn't get to drink. Willie's good. I know he doesn't get to drink, Brian. I'm just checking on the sound guy.
Oh, here's the audience.
How are you? Okay, great. I'll take that. All right. So now they're all in the can. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, it says audience, so I'll hold that. Okay, Peter, you need anything to drink?
No, I'm good.
Melissa?
I'm good for now.
All right. So, hey, look, I think it's time to start the second round. As you guys know, it's double the fun.
2
because
minutes.
The story's 2 minutes. So, I mean, my gosh, how could we lose? I'm very excited. My hand goes back into the Story Smash Can of Truth, and I pull out the name for
Very
the
exciting.
contestant of the first round. Here we go. Second round, Erin Mohr.
Oh, my God.
Twofer. Get it up.
All right, you guys, let's tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel.
Here we go.
Oh, my gosh.
School days.
School days.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. I was a rotten kid. I was a rotten kid. I'll blame it on being transgender, but I think I was just rotten. This is a drug story. I was teens, hung out with the wrong crowd, one could say. And we went out. We did some psychedelics, LSD. Had a very good time. I came home and I was still tripping. This was probably, I don't know, 5-6 hours. You know, I got a couple more hours to go on this ride. So my mom was sitting there waiting for me, and she says, "Erin," my name was still Erin. "Erin, we need to talk." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." The carpet's breathing, and we sit down. And this is serious. I know she's got a serious tone in her voice. I know this is going to be a serious talk. And she says, "You know, I was talking with some friends today, and I found out about your friend Brian." Brian. Now, I'd been hanging out with Brian earlier that night with the LSD, and she said, "I found out he's a drug dealer." And I said, "Oh, Mom, that's not fucking true." I never swear in front of my mom. But she goes, "Yeah, no, I heard he deals drugs." And then I could tell her, honestly, he does not deal drugs because he gave me the LSD for free.
Erin Mohr. Ooh. Is that it? All right, Erin Mohr, stay right here. Okay. 1:52, almost at 2 minutes. She had a little bit of breathing room. Can you see the clock?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Melissa Peterman.
How old? What grade was this?
I was ninth, really a freshman in high school.
My son's in 10th. I should get home and find out what he's doing because there's a kid named Brian at our house right now. For real. I'm terrified. So 9th grade. So Brian, are you still in touch with Brian?
I saw him in college. He's not doing well.
He's not doing well. No, you would think with that
he's
trajectory
struggling.
of dealing in 9th grade that the world is his oyster.
He's an entrepreneur.
And so your mom, did your mom think at any moment during this that you were high as a kite?
No. As far as I know, no. We've
Okay.
never discussed it later. We haven't discussed it.
Never discussed this because to me this shows some skills. Is that you were high as a kite, defending your friend, and having to sit down with your mother while the carpet was breathing, and perhaps her face was melting off, and you didn't even flinch. So, Erin, I loved it. I'm going to give you what's the highest score we've ever given?
I think 14.
I'm going to give you 18. because I loved it.
18. There's no points given tonight, but it's cool. All right, Peter Melman.
What city did this take place in?
Hudson, Ohio.
Oh, okay. I'm
The LSD capital of the world, Peter.
Yeah, I'm a former journalist. I like who, what, where, when, why. In the first paragraph. Any flashbacks?
Occasionally, trails.
Do we look normal to you now?
I think I'm fully recovered.
Okay,
as far as I know.
How many fingers am I holding up?
It's 16 at least.
This is very educational, though, because it's good to hear that people in the Midwest are as screwed up as we are.
Yeah,
That's true.
they really
I
are.
truly believe they're more screwed up. But and this is really good to hear. Okay, school days.
I like that you're looking at your notes. You have nothing written
I
there.
have nothing.
Yeah,
I have nothing.
It's a little drawing of a house.
I think it was a great story, especially considering that she had the last story.
Interesting.
This was like a day game after a night game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think she pulled
A
it off.
matinee and a night show.
And because I have to reduce everything to sports.
Yeah.
Okay, 18 tabs of acid.
There's no points. Danny Zuker.
Yeah, I will not give her credit for that. I'm sorry. No, I do give you credit for this, though, keeping it together. I'm going to tell you quickly. I took mushrooms in college, my freshman year. First time, I was a straight A student in high school. I did one of those things where everybody took like a handful of mushrooms. They're all tripping. I'm like, I don't feel anything after an hour. They say, take more. I take more. And before it gets to here, the first batch kicks in. And now I'm freaking out. I run away from my friends. We're playing in a graveyard shift. And I go back to my dorm. And I've never seen Starsky and Hutch before. I saw my first and only episode of Starsky and Hutch in repeats. In the episode, Starsky is shot up and is dying. And I start wailing, crying. I've been missing from my friends now for hours. They hear me screaming in my dorm, break down the door. Danny, what's wrong? Are you okay? And I just look up and say, Starsky's not going to make it. And so that's just my story. I don't know why I told that whole story, but whenever I think about tripping, I think of that. I could not have kept it together. I couldn't keep it together for a fictional cop that was poorly acted, and you kept it together in 9th grade. So God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless America. You're amazing.
Erin Mohr. Let her hear it, Erin Mohr. Woo! Melissa, did you have any comments on Danny's story?
Wait, you were a handful of mushrooms? That was like the first choice of just, not even your first time, just a handful.
I saw everything in a handful, and they had done it before. Nothing happened to me in an hour, so I took another full. I tripped till about 15 minutes ago.
Well, I know. I'm gonna get you your birthday. I'm gonna get you the box set of Starsky and Hutch for your birthday. That's what's happening.
And the amazing thing is they were shiitake mushrooms. I mean, that's...
All right, you guys, coming up right now to tell a true 2-minute story is Abby Schachner. Let her hear it, Abby! Here she comes, folks. She's so excited. Here she comes. Tell her what to do, guys.
Spin that wheel. No pressure. You just had the perfect story for the first one.
Oh, I hope somebody loses her head in this one.
Maybe she'll tell the exact same story.
Ooh. Break up.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I hope it's about Hervé.
Well, breakup's the topic. Honestly, I feel like I grew up I never saw my parents married. The first thing I remember of my parents is just fighting, and my father tried to kill my mother when I was 5 years old. He hired an undercover cop, a hitman who happened to be an undercover cop. And he never went to jail for it because he paid the hitman after the fact, and at that time in Ohio, after the fact didn't count. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I had a lot of 70s divorce relationships. Like most of my relationships with men, I played their dynamic out a lot. But I guess I don't know about you with creative like breakups with people, but I met a guy one time at a store called Wacko. He came in with his girlfriend. I didn't know they were girlfriends. He was looking for something like a Hello Kitty like cookie jar, and it was missing a piece, and we developed a kind of a dynamic. And he came and visited me again, and he wasn't, like I said, honest about his girlfriend. We hung out one time outside of U Rustic Inn. We didn't go inside. I thought it was magical. We listened to like Come With Me. We listened to Willy Wonka, and we smoked weed and drank beer in the car, and it felt so magical. But then one day we saw Frida, and I drank too much tequila, and I spent the night at his house. Well, until the girlfriend pulled the covers off of me and went, something, 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 you little slut. And I had to leave. And then at the time we didn't have Google, so I had to ask for directions on how to get home. Well, anyway, the next day I called him and I asked him, he picked up the phone and he said, how are you doing? I said, I'm fine. I'm going to Griffith Park. I said, how are you doing? He said, I'm fine. I'm just hanging out with my girlfriend. So I made up some songs, and the next day I sang him some songs at the intersection of Hillhurst and Los Feliz. The first one was, I hope you're having a good time in Tina. I hope you're having a good time in Tina, and Tina, and Tina. And then I sang him another one that said, this is the song that you'll hear when you're making love to Tina. Anyway.
That's a good song.
I could have done it a little bit.
Okay, 2 minutes. She got it. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. It's a great time. Abby Schachner. Let her hear it, you guys.
Holy
Come on. Woo! Melissa Peterman.
I didn't hear anything. I don't think you guys ever broke up. It doesn't sound. Did you break up officially, or just meet him at other intersections and sing horrible songs to him?
Well, he actually did this. I had another universal moment this quarantine. I said to the universe, I said, if I'm ever with the guy again, I want him to be circumcised. Within 24 hours, Olivia called me, one of the few uncircumcised guys I've been with. So he wanted to hang out with me 20 years later. But no, wait, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
You're clutching that zucchini awfully hard, though, and that's... If that's your emotional support, zucchini, during this breakup story, I'd like to hear. I love it. First of all, what I gained from this is I think we live in the same neighborhood, because you mentioned all the places that I'm real close to. I love Wacko. So how many years ago was this?
It was in 2003.
2003. Okay. Well, I'm just going to venture a guess. He's not with Tina. He missed out on you, which is the real... he's probably regretting that forever and ever. I mean, you were musical. You gave him all the best. You saw Frida, all of these things. And I bet he's just home right now, just all alone going, Abby! So I love this story. And, I really enjoyed it. And I hope I see you in the neighborhood very soon, because I think we live close to each other.
I don't live there anymore.
Oh, well,
Tina
then
sucks.
I hated it.
I hate Tina. Danny Zuker.
I feel like we got to hear 5 stories in 2 minutes.
I mean,
that was you're like okay. So this is to your credit. A normal story, when you say my dad tried to kill my mom with a hitman who was a cop and they walked. Story's over, and so that was.
She threw it away.
She threw it away. She buried the lead.
That was the cold open to a much longer sitcom that had nothing to do with the plot. I mean, it was just, I know it played out, and then it's the whole thing. It was like I would love to actually study. I think you squoze, if that's a word, so many words into 2 minutes, and I was engaged in every single one. And then you ended with a musical number? What? Are you kidding me?
Abby Schachner.
It was like Westworld.
It was,
it was all over.
Kaleidoscope.
I haven't felt this way since Starsky sat in that hospital bed.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, Peter Melman.
I think I missed the segue between Ohio and L.A. Anyway,
wow.
Yeah, the murder story starting off. Yeah. See, she was setting up her
Yeah.
psychological damage first before getting into the relationship.
It's smart.
That's backstory.
Exactly.
It's a horrendous backstory, but it's backstory. That is total backstory. Now, this relationship with the guy doesn't. If that was my worst breakup, I'd be the happiest person of all time.
Yeah.
And by the way, I know him. He's dating Halle Berry now. Yeah. Anyway.
Abby
Very
Schachner.
entertaining.
Abby Schachner. Let her hear it. I loved it. I love that story.
Good job.
What's not to love? What's not to love? Her
I
father.
just want to know more about her parents.
I know.
I mean,
That's a true
you
story.
can't recover from that, right?
Well,
That's
she's
a lot.
recovered. She looks great, don't you think?
I mean, the marriage can't recover. I mean, even if they stayed together. Like, remember when you hired a hitman? Oh, you didn't get the dry cleaning? Like, that's gotta...
Oh, that's
All
okay.
right.
That's right. You bring that up all the time.
All the time you'd bring that up.
Yeah.
Gotta
All right,
take the
you guys.
trash out.
That's right. What am I wiping off? I can't decide. Anybody wipe? Okay. Zucchini.
Speaking of wiping,
And my hands are
Charmy, don't, what is it?
Charminia.
Charminia.
Are we there?
Charminia.
Charminia.
Is that like a sexually transmitted disease?
It might be.
Could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, speaking of chlamydia, coming up right now to tell us true 2-minute story is the one and only Cindy
Stout.
Cindy Stout, get up here.
All right, you guys, anything could happen here. Cindy,
Anything could happen. Cindy's
no.
taking the long way up to the stage.
tugging the pole. All right, let's tell her what to do.
Spin
That wheel.
Yeah, the one behind you.
It's like that walk was like for best, like in the Oscars when it's best foreign language short animated subject, and they have to walk from the back of the room to the top. It was a.
Oh, nice and simple. Vacation. Nice and simple.
Oh, here we go. We believe in you.
Give me. Come on. All right. I went on vacation. This is. I've grown up brunette my whole life. I know. Look, this is very blonde. But the roots have taken in. Okay. So on this particular vacation, I grew up. And I'm with my aunt, my uncle, my cousins. We're out there, and oh my God, this is so painful. All right, so the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. No, you got this.
You got it.
We believe in you. Go.
This is really bad.
Tell us about the Rocky Mountains.
All right. The balls is ticking. Oh my God, I cannot do this. So,
What happened in the Rocky Mountains?
You got it.
You got it. The Rocky Mountains. This is going to be pain. Yeah, you got it.
oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, yep. Oh my God, Charlie, don't do this.
Did your father try to kill your mother?
So awful. So my mom got killed, but my father, he cut her in half. He thought she was Lady Dahlia from L.A.
He thought she was a Black Dahlia?
He had some very pent-up frustrations about L.A., Lake Dahlia, and cut her body in half. It's awful, and I'm sorry.
No,
you're right.
Cindy.
It's so bad.
Cindy Stout. Cindy
I-
Stout.
No, this is hard to do.
Cindy
I have
Stout.
to watch it.
Come on, Danny. Let's
Cindy,
hear it.
that's hard to do.
No,
We give
Cindy.
you a lot of credit. No, she wants to retreat, but that was a good job, Cindy.
Cindy, I'm going to tell you right now, that would have been one of my favorite toasts at any wedding I'd ever been
Yeah,
to.
for sure. That would be a good toast.
I've
Yes.
seen that toast, haven't you? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I used to be a brunette, and then my mom, and we went to Rocky Mountain. And you know what? There's one reason, your love and you together. And I never thought. I mean, you guys, I'm so bad at this. And then I was gonna. When I look at you two, and when you just look at each other, just take care of each other. Because my mom, when we were there, and you can dye your hair, but you can't change everything. And so, just to you guys, I love you.
Yeah, Melissa Peterman!
Cindy, that rocked.
That was
Peter Melman.
the most hysterical thing I've ever seen up close.
Peter.
That story didn't go where I thought it was going.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was going to be like a Grand Canyon story.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you know, I went to the Grand Canyon once, and I was like sitting on the edge, staring at that vast expanse.
Sure.
And you know, like billions of years, and I had this epiphany that my problems are so much more important than everyone else's.
Well, I think you're right.
But now I know that my problems are, well, they pale next to Cindy.
Yeah, they pale next to the Rocky Mountains. That's the thing with the mountains. All right, one more time for Cindy Stout. Let her hear it.
Way to go, Cindy.
Yeah, come on, give her some applause. This is not an easy game. There's nothing easy about this. I get it.
No.
All right, you guys come to the stage right now to tell a true 2-minute story is the one and only Charlie Daniel. Charlie! All right, you guys, let's tell him what to do.
Spin that wheel.
That wheel.
Come on, all the way around.
Oh.
Your mother.
Free. Hey, did you land on free before?
I did.
Then you got to spin again.
Oh, wow.
Let's tell him what to do. Spin that wheel again. He's trying to cheat. Did you see that, you guys? You heard what I said.
He spun it.
Mom.
What is it?
It landed on fucking Mom.
Oh,
Your mother.
Your mother.
All right. And, ooh. All right. Before I start, Cindy's also transitioning from drunk to comatose, it seems like. So, but I will admit that's my sister. Cindy's my sister. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they had a pre-party before coming to see their brother. I love it. All right, Mom. Well, one time my mother, she sent me a gift when I was in college. And what else would a great college kid need in a dorm? But she sent me 3 hamsters. And it was 3 hamsters. And ironically, their names were Starsky, Hutch, and Hervey. No. Yes. But I thought it was a great idea. And I was a nursing major. And so another great decision I made when I was in college. Only 3 semesters as a nursing major. I changed it. So I had these hamsters, and I thought it was cruel. The very first night I had them, I thought it was cruel to keep them in a cage. This is a true story. Just want to know. So who, what, and when, where was all there, Peter, just so you know.
Okay.
So I thought it was cruel to keep them in a cage. So the very first night I had them, I thought, when I'm sleeping, I'm going to put them, just let them roam around the room. And it was a brand new dorm room. The only crack was under the door into the hallway. So I stuffed some towels in there, and then I hid that with some laundry. And I went to bed, and I let them roam around. You know, how humane of me. And so I wake up in the morning to get ready to go to the hospital. I was a nursing student. Did I mention I was a nursing student? And I can't find them, and I moved the laundry from the towels, and all 3 of them were digging at the towel. They had been digging all night long, and they were millimeters from breaking free from the door. And I turned the light on, and they all 3 turned around. I'd never seen a surprised look on a hamster, but all 3 of them looked so pissed and surprised. I think they flipped me off, and I stopped them from escaping the room, and I put them back in the cage.
All right, Charlie Daniel.
Wow.
Charlie Daniel. Again, as a reminder, the topic was Mom. I'm just throwing that out there.
Mom gave me the
I like the way you pulled it around. I think There's a famous gerbil in history that I think was surprised at one point. Maybe just Google that. I bet he had a look of surprise, or like just what the fuck happened. Kind of a gerbil 128 hours, I guess, up there. Yeah. Anyway, totally apocryphal. Yeah, you took a mom story, you turned it into like the gerbil Great Escape. I liked it. I've tried to free. I sympathize with all that. I like my daughter just graduated as a nurse. She's the real hero. Yes.
Your daughter?
My daughter's like
that's
a year
very
working.
cool.
Yeah, she graduated a year ago and nursing right in the pandemic.
Frontline worker. That's great.
She's fucking crazy. What a stupid move. But yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I'm running out of steam, but that was amazing.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa.
Charlie, not since the Shawshank Redemption have I heard a story of tenacious will to escape. And
so beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was truly, truly beautiful. And I just wish there was a little poster that the hamsters had over like the whole of like Jessica Rabbit or something. They were just tunneling away and they're like, fuck, he's a nursing major. He's up so early. As somebody who had hamsters as a young child, as my father says, when we moved, there was like 14 hamster carcasses strewn about the house because they all escape. They all escape eventually, even if you have the greatest of intentions. Again, the subject was your mom, and I have questions about why she thought that was an appropriate gift for a college student, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And in my head, they tunneled away to freedom and met at a beach, and they all lived happily ever after. So there you go.
That's a good story. Peter Melman.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, the transition from mom to hamster was so fast.
Genius is the word you're looking for.
I mean, doing it without a segue at all. That was... but, it is kind of weird how what mothers will send to you in college. So I did kind of relate to that. Once for my birthday during college, my mother sent me a check for $30. And then 2 months later, I got mononucleosis, and she sent me $75.
Ooh, wow! Well, that's.
I mean, I was thinking, like, what can I get next? I could make it get $1,000 for
easily.
Yeah, hepatitis. Yeah. But
what about chlamydia or the
Chlamydia is worth at least $1,000.
Charmatosis.
Don't squeeze the chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
Okay, well, that's
okay, great. Charlie Daniel, let him hear it, Charlie Daniel.
Wow.
I appreciate that nobody used a Charlie Daniel joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody talked about the devil went down to Georgia.
He's heard it all before.
Yeah, why bother?
Not going to do it.
Now, this is the exciting part of the game where our expert judges are going to take two of these names and they're going to put them back into the Story Smash can of truth. And at that time, two people are going to be in that can. So it's very exciting. Let's put a minute on the clock. Oh, it's already going. So, take your time. Hey, you guys, give a big round of applause to Willie in the back. Willie, thank you. And Brian at the bar. Thank you, Brian. Lindsay at the box office. I love Lindsay. Love Lindsay. She's out there. It takes a village to make all this happen, you guys. Jim Coughlin right in the front. Thank you, Jim Coughlin. Come on. Give it up for Jim Coughlin. Woo! And a big thank you to all of the storytellers who have played tonight so far. Well, that are going to play tonight at all. Charlie Daniel, Abby Schachner, Cindy Stout, and Erin Mohr. Those four are all superstars right out of the gate. So thank you, everybody, for playing.
Bravo.
And now it's been only 45 seconds, but it looks like the names are in the can. Melissa, how do you feel about this?
Well, it was a hard one because I really wanted to hear another story from everybody. But we made an executive decision here. So
I just wanted to say I disagreed with these decisions. But and I was like, I think they did a really good job. And then Melissa was like, fuck you, Danny. That person blew. And I was like, hey, that's not cool. And she's like, eat my... And it just got ugly.
Yeah, that is ugly.
Yeah, and
that was all true. That was all true.
No.
By the way, did you know that the winner tonight wins my famous chocolate chip cookies? Yeah. And no, this one. They get this one.
Cookie?
I feel like they want this one.
No, that's for you to make.
Oh, it is?
Oh, my God.
You, that's for you. And
Cookies and Zook.
Oh my God.
That was the name of my album.
I'm going to be able to drive in the carpool lane with this son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
I'd like to hear a speech for each of you as you hold it up. At some point. That'd be great. All right, you guys. Go ahead, Melissa. Let's pull out the first person who's playing in the third round to tell us a true 3-minute story. Who's playing?
Number one, we've got Abby coming back
Abby
on.
Schachner! Yeah. Abby. Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
Abby Schachner. Come on, Abby. There she comes. Here she comes now. Yes, you come now. Let's tell her what to do, guys.
Spin that
wheel.
That's a good spin.
Wow, that is a healthy spin you got. I do too. I really fought for you on this one.
Pets.
An idea.
Pets.
I have a pet. I have a pit bull that I adopted, and I have a Roomba that was a stray. I found it in North Hollywood. It was sucking chicken bones and glass, and now it's at home with me. I had a French bulldog years ago, and I loved my French bulldog, but my French bulldog made best friends with my friend Laura. And Laura would come to my house for parties. She wouldn't really socialize. She's a very nice person, wouldn't socialize as much with people. She'd hang out with the dog, and my dog loved her so much. She came to this party one time, the dog vomited his full size of, the vomit was his body size.
Oh, God.
They had so much fun together. And that was an interesting party because I made weed brownies, and some of my friends, who never smoke weed or eat weed, they left without being able to talk. But Laura had this relationship, I did some yoga trainings, and Laura would hang out with my dog Milo, and they'd go on fun adventures, go to the dog park and the dog beach and all that stuff. But over the years, towards the end of his life, I moved in with a boyfriend in a home that had a lot of stairs, and Milo was having a hard time. He was aging, and then I broke up with the boyfriend, and I moved to a studio apartment where the dog couldn't really stand on the floor. His legs would split, and it was really painful to watch my dog. He was turning gray, and he couldn't stand on the floor anymore, and I had to stroll him, and he would pee down the stairs in the front of the building, and they had to knock on my door and tell me I had to carry him out, and it was really terrible. And I had a rearranging problem in the studio apartment. It was about as big as a stage, and for 17 hours a day, because I had moved out of a lovely home in Lake Hollywood, I would rearrange my furniture for 17 hours, and my dog would just look at me, and it was just terrible. He was aging, all this stuff. So I called my friend Laura, and I told her I needed to put the dog to sleep, and she said, "No! Don't put him to sleep!" She was going to Costa Rica to live for a while, and she didn't want me to put the dog to sleep before, she wanted me to let him live for a while. And anyway, when I did eventually put the dog to sleep, I was going to include Laura, but I decided I couldn't bring Laura to the vet when I put him to sleep because I was afraid that Milo, my dog, was going to look her in the eyes and then put his paw on her hand, on her, and then pass away looking at her. So I didn't include her, and I made it just my own thing. And I still have Milo's ashes, and I love him very much. I've never done anything with it, but maybe a fun thing for me and Laura to do would be to go to maybe Griffith Park where Hervey was, or the dog park, and sprinkle those ashes, or maybe at the coffee shop we used to go to. But I just could not include my friend Laura in the death of my dog Milo because I loved him, and yeah.
Abby Schachner, Abby. Oh my God, it was such a great story. She landed exactly on 2 minutes and 59 seconds. There was a light smash, but not a lot.
Thank you, Will.
Melissa Peterman.
Forget Marley and me. I want to hear Milo and me. I love dogs. I had 3. We lost Janet a couple years ago, and that's a hard thing to put a dog when it's time to go. And a lot, again, death does bring out a lot of emotions. Some of them just jealousy. You're like, I don't want Milo surrounded by too much love, just my love. I get that. I feel the same way. I think you should maybe sprinkle Milo in Wacko or Rustic Inn, all of those places. I love this story. And do you have another dog now?
I have Jai and a pit bull.
We have another pit bull. Well, I'm all for rescuing dogs, and this story it rescued me, Abby. It really did. It rescued me. So well done. I loved it very much.
All right, Danny Zuker.
It really hit me. We recently, we had to put down a dog. She was fine. We didn't like her. It just was like, it was a pain. But it was a sad story. I mean, there weren't a lot, it was like sort of, I think Schindler's List had slightly more laughs there at the end than that particular story. Wasn't where you were going with it. But look, I felt your pain, and I guess I'm feeling something. And that's
you never do.
Which I'm dead inside.
Yeah, you're dead inside.
You're usually numb.
I felt sadness at the only 2 times I felt tonight are sadness at your story and utter terror at whatever Cindy was going to say. So thank you for that.
Peter Pellman.
I totally sympathize with your the loss of that cute little French bulldog. Losing a dog is actually. It's worse than losing a family member because, you don't have any mixed feelings about your dog. By the way, to your point about rescues, I have a dog, and somebody said to me, some woman is playing with my dog, and she says, "Oh, God, he's so cute. Did you adopt him?" And I said, "No, he's my biological dog." I mean, the nerve of these people asking these questions. You know what I really like? There's physicality to Abby's stories.
Yeah,
very much
for
so.
sure.
Yeah, she's
right there. We're watching
she's
it.
moving now.
Look at it. She's marking her territory.
She does physical.
She's skating.
Well, it wasn't comedy, but it was physical, and I really admire that, considering the fact the stage is 3 inches. It's a great story, gripping, and yeah.
Abby Schachner, let her hear it.
Good job, Abby.
Abby Schachner.
And
there she goes.
And Laura was all like, "Don't put the dog down. I'm going to Costa Rica." Like, it
know.
wasn't like she was going to stay.
Fuck Laura
Yeah.
in that story.
You don't get to be in that final moment if you're off in Costa Rica.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The great thing about a dog is having something around the house that's aging even faster than you are. I love that.
7 times faster, as I understand. All right, you guys, there's one more contestant playing the game tonight, and that's going to wrap up Story Smash for the September edition. I just heard the good news. We're back October 23rd.
No.
What? Yeah, we're back October 23rd. And, in fact, this show that you're hearing right now will be on the Story Worthy podcast in just a couple of weeks. So please listen to Story Worthy. It'll be waiting for you. If you follow me, it'll be waiting for you. You know what I mean? It's all free. Of course it's free. You can't charge money to be a comedian.
No.
Obviously. All right, you guys. Melissa Peterman, who's the final contestant coming up tonight to tell a true 3-minute story?
Erin Mohr. Get on up here.
Let her hear it. All right, you guys, let's tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel.
Oh, there she goes. It's a good spin. Thanks. Audience. Oh my gosh. This is exciting.
Holy shit just got real.
That shit got real. What topic would you like to hear Erin speak about? Anything over here? Music. Anything in here? I'm sorry?
Being scammed.
Being scammed. Okay, that's interesting. Being fired.
That's good.
Being scammed? Heartbreak. First love. What? Aviation. There's a clown in the audience, Danny.
No, aviation.
There's
sure.
a clown right there.
Yeah,
Is
accountancy.
Does anything sound interesting so far?
A lot of them.
Well, yeah, is there one that appeal because it's the final round? Is there one that you liked of that group? Aviation.
There were just so many good ones. I'm not remembering.
Heartbreak.
First Love.
Aviation.
Getting Scammed. Aviation.
Aviation. Fired.
First Love. Fired.
Tequila.
Oh, okay. I guess I could do.
Fired.
Fired.
All right, fire. Let her hear it, you
Fire
guys.
away.
Erin Mohr, fired.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. So I've gotten fired a few times, but I also had the pleasure of firing several, 20, 30 people in a job I had working during the holidays, which is really pleasant. I worked for a temp agency who was staffing at Amazon.com, because they have the biggest hearts for all their employees. And it was basically my job. I was a liaison, so to speak, between Amazon and the temp agency. Hired heavy, I think, actually, is what my title was, because I didn't do much except fire people. I sat around and occasionally sat down and talked with employees and gave them pep talks, but really the job I had was shit canning people. And I got kind of one time I had to fire this one young woman. This was the first time I had to fire anybody. We walked into a conference room, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to let you go. Get your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she's like crying, and I'm like, well, you kind of knew this was coming. I mean, you've gotten feedback before. No, I didn't. I'm like, well, somebody sat you down and told you were doing poorly and you had a chance to improve yourself. No, I didn't. I had to fire her anyway. I couldn't let her continue working there, but I did find out. I got chummy with some of the Amazon people, and I found out that I got kind of a reputation as like the angel of death around there. One of the trainers of the program overheard a couple of the young recruits talking to each other, and they're like, one said to the other, "I hate that guy. Whenever he comes around, people disappear." Anyway, I could draw it out, but I'm not going to. That's the end of the story. Thank you.
Erin Mohr. Okay, stay with us. Now, that's 2 minutes and 37 seconds. She had a little more time. She didn't choose to use it. Peter Melman.
As someone who's never, really had a job,
Yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated by having the opportunity to fire people, you were in an interesting position there. I like that story. It's kind of like one of those between the lines stories.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit any genre exactly.
It's cross genre.
Kind of like up in the air, with the firing. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time watching TV lately. I kind of like that story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny Zuker.
Yeah, I have had to fire. You've never had to fire somebody on your show?
I just didn't pick them up.
Oh, I had to fire. No, I stressed out. The first person I was going to fire was like a casting person. I was like, oh, it's just not working. It's there. And I was like, how am I going to do this? And I was up I didn't sleep at all the night before. I couldn't do it. And then we had a casting session, and she was just like, whatever. There was something, she just said something so nasty. She was basically like, how you doing? And she's like, I can't talk right now. And I was just like, because I was stressing, how am I going to fire her? And we're in the elevator, and she's like, so how's it going? She says, I really can't talk right now. And I said, oh, cool, you're fired. And And it was so easy. It was like
That
a gift
was easy.
from God.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, no
But
doubt,
a good story. I got to take points off for being like 30 seconds off. I know. But you're an interesting, I mean, look, you're a good storyteller, obviously. So bravo.
Thank you.
Melissa Peterman.
Erin, I want you to have a podcast first of all because your voice is so
Soothing.
and
Yes.
you were telling really short stories and you never feel or sound rushed and you had more time, which I think is a wonderful quality. That's a great gift. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Minnesota. The idea of firing somebody, I could never do it. We would stress about it. We'd be like, we just say, oh God, I don't know. It's I just for everything. It's I don't know. And then we get drunk at Thanksgiving and go, you never worked out. That's what we do. We just repress it, stuff it, and let it out. Yeah. I have a quick question though, because I think that you got this reputation. Was there a tiny part of you that liked it?
Yeah, I was a little delighted by
A little
that
bit.
story.
A little bit.
A little delight.
A little bit.
Power rush.
I have to take off times because I wanted to hear more, but I think you need to expound on that little. I think there's a little seed in everyone's personality that we all don't want to talk about. That is like kind of that dark thing where part of you kind of liked being the angel of death. Like in my head, flash forward to like a year later, and you start wearing, you just change like your whole look. You're all in black with like this giant collar, and like you walk in. You make them sit in a beanbag chair so they're real low and uncomfortable. And, like, you really just embrace the firing. You know what I mean? You only offer one thing, and it's really just lukewarm tea. You make it uncomfortable. So that's where I went. And I think in the next 30 seconds, that's where you would have went, too. So I enjoyed it, Erin. Well done. Well done.
Erin Mohr. Holy cow. Well. We find ourselves at the end of another game of Story Smash. What a great time. Let's put a minute on the clock, and then our fine judges are going to put a name of the winner in the bucket, and then that's the person who wins the game and receives a quality zucchini and my homemade chocolate chip cookies. I know. What do you want, man? What do you want? What can I give you? You want a cat? I got several cats. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back here on October 23rd. You can get your tickets right now from Lindsay in the front. And we're going to be in the bar after the show, hanging out right across the way there. So come on over to the bar. And another big round of applause to Willie in the back. Willie, thank you so much, man. This is Willie's first time on the sound, and I think you did a great job. Let's hear the smash again. Come on, Willie. See, he knows what he's doing. Some of the smashes are weaker and some are stronger, but it doesn't matter. Big round of applause to Brian at the bar. Brian, thank you for putting up with us, hanging out with us, playing the game. Lindsay in the front, great girl. Say goodbye to Lindsay on your way out or on your way to the bar. And again, we're going to be back here October 23rd, and this show will be on the Story Worthy podcast in just about a week or two. All right, you guys. So now this is a difficult decision. How do you feel, Peter? Tell me how you feel. Peter?
Microphone.
Microphone?
Again, Danny was the odd man out.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Sorry.
And the use of the expletives.
So much language.
I didn't like that it got so racial, frankly. But
yeah.
It's ugly.
Melissa, any thoughts? Final thoughts?
This was hard.
Yeah.
I would have to say because we enjoyed them both so much for two very different reasons, like very different styles.
Yeah.
But really enjoyable all the way through. So yeah, this one was hard.
This is truly one of the hardest ones we've ever
One of the hardest
One of
ones?
the hardest ever.
Danny, you've done like 35 of these shows, man.
Yeah, and I just say that every time. Usually
I know you do. That's what I was
honestly, it was
getting at.
really easy. No, this was really, truly hard. Because they were both so different. It was very, very tricky.
right.
But I think you'll like the choice.
Okay, well, we're gonna call the name of the person up. They're gonna come to the stage. We're all gonna grab our zucchini for a great picture, and then we're all gonna be in the bar. All right? Does that sound good, everybody? Are you happy? Are you happy?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, you guys. Tonight, the winner of Story Smash September 2021, Melissa Peterman is.
No, you gotta look. Read it. You read it.
Oh my Lord!
I hit myself with a.
You read it.
Is there a tie? Cindy, get the fuck out.
I worked it. We wanted to give.
No, here you go.
They said it said Cindy. Cindy, I love you. Fuck these guys. Okay, the real name.
We wanted to give
you
Cindy
guys.
a shout out.
Big round of applause for the one and only. I can't do it. Erin Mohr. Erin Mohr. Come on up, Erin Mohr. You are the winner of Story Smash. Enjoy your zucchini and your thing. Big round of applause, you guys. Danny Flippin' Zuker, Melissa Peterman, and Peter Flippin' Millman. Come on, you guys, give it up. My name is Christine Blackburn. Good night.
Your plans? Today it's dinner with the parents at your spot.
We gotta come back here.
Now, their spot. Or you're on the edge of your seat at the game.
Come on, just one time.
And it's the one. Or maybe you're catching the next flight to...
Now boarding flight 1850.
Oh, that's you. The choice is yours. And when you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
Switching and saving with Geico is easy, so you're free to ponder life's big questions. Like if a person can get discombobulated, does that mean the rest of the time they're just combobulated? Are we humans always in a state of combobulation? Until, of course, something dramatic happens and we are discombobulated for a while. Then we go back to being combobulated. Yeah, that's probably how that works. Switch and save with Geico. It's easier than you think.